Hello and welcome. Today we've got Denise Boland and Delora OBrien. And today Denise wants to be discussing prophecies that are biblical prophecies that are happening. And Delora wants to be discussing George Soros, the decertifying of Wisconsin and more in that area, and the Ukrainian Defense Ministry. Now, just before we begin, you can subscribe to our Telegram channels and to nicholasveniamin.com for my free email updates. And if you're watching this for the first time on YouTube, I will leave the link below in the description for the full interview, unless, of course, myself and the guests can choose their words wisely due to the insane censorship that's happening right now. Denise and Delora, thank you both for joining me. How are you and what have you been up to? We'll go with Denise first.
Hi, thank you for having me back. Miss you guys. Been doing great, keeping busy, holding the line.
Absolutely. And Delora, how about you? How are you?
Good. I've been busy putting up a brick wall. I took it from your old set.
You're just missing the live on air, right? I should have given it to you. You didn't call me.
That's what I've been doing, trying to keep myself busy out of the fray of the craziness, but doing really well, Nick. Thanks.
Fantastic. So there's so much going on, isn't there? I mean, we've had all these different videos with, different patriots on my show, and I'm sure you have been too. And so much is going on, right? And the deep state are really, really panicking right now because, they're using Putin as well to, I think, attract, the alliance, because they know that, Putin is the good guy because he is attacking those deep state assets and not the citizens. So where do we begin? Denise, why don't we go with you first with the prophecies?
Okay. So I first want to say, God is using the prophets today. They're playing a very important role in preparing us for what's coming. Now, you have to always test the spirits. You have to always discern. You pray about everything you hear, and God will show you, is it accurate? A lot of them, I always say, you'll know them by their fruits. If what they say comes to pass, then okay, they were spot on. They're hearing from God. So I just want to share some prophetic words from Julie Green. Now, Julie Green, you guys need to look her up. She's got a ministry. She's on YouTube, and the Lord is showing her some of the things that are happening in March. And what the Lord was showing her is, we're coming into March like a lion, and we're going to go out like a lamb. We're going to see erratic changes in the weather. We know that the cabal wants to start a war. Okay, we know what they're about, what their ultimate plan is, New World Order. But the Lord showed her that God is going to frustrate them with unusual weather phenomena. There's going to be snow in unusual places, like in California. And then she goes on to say that the Lord told her a lightning bolt will strike the White House and the Washington Monument on the same day, and to watch for a lightning storm to hit the Capitol. Okay, so she's saying not only is this a sign to us, because God gives us, I like this, God gives us the news before the news, but it's also to stop the plans and the attacks of the enemy. It's to halt things that they want done. So those weather events are going to get in their way. Okay. A few other things I want to share real quick is she's saying that we need to, these are all signs that God is working. We're going to see Jen Psaki is suddenly going to quit because she no longer wants to be part of the lies anymore. Her sudden exit's going to shock some. Another sign to us, the cabal's plans are falling apart. She knows what they've done. She doesn't want to be part of it. She played into the fraudulent government. She knows about the fake Biden, and she knows who's really in control of the administration, and it's all going to be exposed.
So you reckon that deep down she's a good person, and she just wants to get out of this?
She wants to get out, but if you listen to Julie Green's complete prophecy, she's not repentant. She just doesn't want to be involved in it anymore. So judgment is still going to fall on her because she was still involved in it. So, it's all about repenting. We could be the most heinous, murderer in the world if we repent in our heart. And God knows the heart. He knows if we're really repenting or not. God's merciful and he will forgive us and we'll be saved.
But if she really feels that this is no place for her and she wants to quit and she just doesn't want to be part of it because she disagrees with it, That's good because God knows her intentions are good, and
Right.
if she does exit, then that will be her way of not being part of that and not continuing. So in a way, it's a little bit like repenting,
Right.
To God.
And that's between her and God. Only God knows why she's trying to get away.
Yeah.
She might be scared, for what's coming.
Is this about March? Is this the stuff? Did she say stuff? This is going to happen in March, or was it kind of open-ended?
This part was open-ended, but March definitely about the weather.
Okay.
The weather, definitely. This one I like. She said, when we see Brad Pitt in the news, that's a sign that Hollywood's coming down.
Why? What's significant about Brad Pitt?
She didn't expand on that. But when we see Brad Pitt in the news, so I guess it's going to be maybe big headlines about Brad Pitt. That's a sign. And she also said Alec Baldwin, it's going to be a lot of exposure of what he's involved in. A lot of exposure.
Wow.
This is a good one. Rudy Giuliani is going to be vindicated. He has what he needs to destroy every narrative. I'm not going to go into all of that. But they no longer have control of the narrative, and he's going to be able to do what needs to be done.
Wow. And where did you hear this from, did you say?
So this is Julie Green.
Green.
She has Julie Green Ministries. You can find her on YouTube. Everything that I'm saying, you can find all her prophecies. She's been on iHeartRadio. She's going all over and sharing. And she's tried and true because, she's been a prophet for a long time, and things that God has showed her that she spoke has come to pass. So
Now,
this is things we need to look out for.
Sure, absolutely. And it's very exciting. Speaking of iHeartRadio, I just wanted to let everyone know on that note that I'm on Spotify.
I'm glad I could do that for you.
iHeartRadio.
You like that?
And Apple Podcasts. We have to use their weapons against them to get the truth out. And that's exactly what I'm doing, just to try and get the truth out. Delora, how about you? You want to speak about George Soros? How comes he's all of a sudden popped up in this conversation?
I don't actually believe he's alive.
Right.
And on a note, I mean, talking about what Denise said, and this is nothing against, I'm not saying anything against anybody, whether it be her or anyone, but because I'm behind the scenes a lot with Hollywood, I don't want to go into it. One of those people you said is already and has been outed. There's a lot of Hollywood is pretty much defunct. And you'll find that out if you watch the Oscars at the end of this month. You'll see hardly no A-list stars there. Okay, so watch it, and you'll see there's a lot of these things that are AB. I don't want to say his name again because I don't want you getting in trouble for anything, Nick. But he's pretty much. I think he's probably either gone or he is incarcerated. So that's a lot of that stuff.
AB. Sorry, who's AB?
Yeah. Alec Baldwin. I'll say it. I'm trying to be good. Trying to be good. She mentioned him.
I mean, he's been in the news, so.
Right.
Yeah,
No, that's fine.
That's
okay.
what I'm saying. You have to understand, I'm very, very, and I've said this before, I'm very careful about prophets right now. Whoever they are, I'm not saying she's good. I'm not saying she's bad. I know Julie, she's a great lady. The thing is that there's so many popping up, so many places with so many words, people you don't know. What I say to everyone is watch what is said.
Yes.
See if it comes to pass.
Exactly.
And find out where they were 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. You can find me. See where these people were. That's all I say. But anyway, that's
good advice.
I can comment about that. And again, nothing against her, nothing against anyone. It's just, man, we've got to be really sharp and really careful because everyone will come out. It takes nothing to write something up, say something, nothing. And people with YouTube and Rumble and everything, I can come on, give myself a name, call myself prophet something, pastor this, teacher that, doctor. And all of a sudden I have this respect. People listen to me and I'm working for the other side. So guys, really, really be careful.
Right.
And nothing said about Julie.
Agree.
Nothing said about anybody.
We have to
Just-
discern. We have
Just
to
a general,
discern.
it's just a general statement that we should
General
just be sharp.
General
Absolutely.
statement that I say every single time I'm on a show. So I got that out of the way. George Soros, Pelosi. Let me read you what they said. You know, there's a whole, I feel like, I don't know if you remember when speaking of Brad Pitt, but when he was with Jennifer Aniston, and then all of a sudden he started going with Angelina Jolie, it was like team Jennifer, team Angelina. And like all these people were siding with one side or the other. And that's what it seems to be happening here. Even among the patriots, even among the church, Christianity, there seems to be, team Ukraine, team Russia, and it should not be that way. What we have to look at is we have to look at truth. Where have people aligned? Where has people like Pelosi or Soros or Fake 46? Where have they aligned? Have you aligned with them? Have you believed them? Have they given you truth since 2015 when DJ T came down the escalator? If they have not given you truth and they have not spoken anything true, and you're a patriot / Christian, patriot, I don't care if you're a Judaism, it doesn't matter. Look at what they've said. If you are that and you have trusted DJ T and you've trusted what has been coming out, you cannot flip. There's no flipping. These people are the same as they were yesterday and today and will be tomorrow. So let me just read you something from George Soros's Twitter. You can go on his Twitter. I don't know who's running it. It's like Hillary Clinton's Twitter. It's like all the rest. Most of them are being run by other people. And this is what he said. This is just a couple days ago. Brave Ukrainians are on the front line and risking their lives. The horrible images coming out of Ukraine remind me of living and hiding in war-torn Budapest in 1944 and the siege of Sarajevo in 1993. Hashtag stand with Ukraine. Another one, next tweet. We must stand with Ukraine as they stand with us. I have witnessed Ukraine transform from a collapsing part of the Soviet Union. Listen to this now, to a liberal democracy and an open society. Understand, he was the founder of the Open Society Foundations and was one of the greatest benefactors to the Hillary Clinton Foundation. It has faced countless acts of Russian aggression. Next tweet. Putin's actions are a direct attack on the sovereignty of all states that were once the Soviet Union and beyond. Russia is in clear violation of the United States Charter and should be held accountable. Now, 4 days ago, Pelosi has a presser. This is her exact words. It's stunning to see in this day and age a tyrant, she's referring to Putin, roll into a country. This is the same tyrant who attacked our democracy in 2016. So now she's putting Putin and DJT together in one lump sum, saying they attacked our democracy in 2016, and now she's putting them together again. If you're awake, it's got to speak to you.
And subliminally, that tells the people subliminally that Trump stands for war.
That's right. That's exactly right. And speaking of war, if Fake 46 was commander in chief, which he is not, if he was, Pelosi in the same presser, Nick, said, hey, we don't want war. We're not going to get involved in this. This is not really something we want to do. Let me tell you something. Those people make a lot of money through war. And if Fake 46 had the power to declare war, he would have done it already. The issue is that he is not commander in chief. He does not have the power of the military. And in fact, And these are from people who work in the Pentagon. He's never even been in the Pentagon.
Very interesting. Yeah, absolutely. And how about the Wisconsin decertification? What's that
Okay,
about?
let me add that all of these things you can find yourself. Just go look. This is nothing hidden, nothing from, this hidden person behind me told me these things. This isn't that.
Yeah.
Go find it yourself. Okay, let me tell you what that is. Wisconsin Special Counsel Michael Gobelman, works in the Justice Department, calls for the decertification of Wisconsin. Hang on, I've got a couple of things about this. Calls for the decertification of Wisconsin, and there's several reasons. He discovered that the CEO of Facebook, now, I do not know if that is the Z-Man. I don't know if he is the CEO, and I didn't have time to look this up, so I'm just going to tell you, people can look it up. The CEO of Facebook gave $8.8 million funneled into Wisconsin's Democrat cities as bribery during 2019 and 2020, which is in violation of the law. One of the most interesting things that I found out is that nearly 100,000 people that are in nursing homes in Wisconsin, many have dementia, and they voted. Nearly 100% of them voted, and every one of them voted Democrat. And how this came to pass, and I can't say the man's name because he may not want it said, but this person went to Michael Gobelman and said, my grandfather cannot read or write. He has severe dementia. I looked up his voting record. How did he vote for fake 46?
Exactly that. Yeah. I'm not surprised. We are not surprised. The viewers, I don't think, are surprised.
No, not surprised at all. Look, again, I'm harping on this because to me, it's the most important thing right now.
Yeah. But if you know this and, you're able to tell us this, then I hope and I believe that the Alliance know much more as well, and they're dealing with it.
Oh, this is a drop in the bucket, Nick. I'm not, what they know, they can't say. And I've always said this, and we'll say it again. What is going on in Ukraine and Russia and all these little things that pop up? I've been around this a long time. In my 20s, I saw the medical cabal kill someone right in front of me. So that was a long time ago. I've been red-pilled since then. I know things. I could forget the stuff that I've seen in my lifetime. What we need to understand is, although it's Ukraine, Russia, you got to realize much of that is look over here, don't look over here. So that's why I want to bring up Wisconsin. That's why I want to bring up different things, because they're trying to steer the narrative. And it's all watching Russia, and revving everybody up about World War III. Hey, let me tell you something. We're already in World War III. World War III started on January, number after 5. Okay. And we know that was the beginning of World War III. And most of it is digital and most of it is virtual. But there is a major war going on. And what you have to do is you have to take what you're seeing and say, why is this happening? What are they trying to divert me from? And then go look, like Wisconsin. in so many other things that are going on. So many. Washington, D.C. has had military equipment, military trucks, military vans surrounding the White House in Capitol for about a week.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on there? Why are there barricades? Why can't a lot of people get in? What's happening? So it's sleight of hand. Look over here. It's like magicians do. Don't look over here. And if you watch many of the people that are boots on the ground that are doing that, Nick, they are actually videoing. I have a friend that is videoing and she's shooting me some stuff. And some of it I can put up and some of it I can't. But that is what's happening right now, is there's a lot of sleight of hand. And what that tells me is that we are closer than we can even imagine. And I think it's going to be a suddenly. But I'll tell you something, and this is my final word on this, is that if we think that someone like DJT, who I completely love, or anyone else is going to get the glory for this, they're very wrong. Because just like God parted the Red Sea,
That's
yes,
right.
Moses held up the staff. Yes, he did. But it was all God. And when this happens, it's going to happen in a suddenly. It's not going to happen like, oh, little by little is going to come out. No, it's going to happen in a suddenly, and we're going to know it's God. It's going to absolutely be a positive thing, and no one's going to get the credit for it. Yes, he will come back into office and he will straighten everything out because he's doing it right now. But that's God's going to get the glory, and it's going to happen in a suddenly. I really believe that.
I really believe that too. And I really believe he will take back the office, because he would not be saying this for 2 years now, almost 2 years. A year and a half, and not take it back. Trump's the kind of person who will say something, people will look at him and the media will look at him and say he's crazy. But sooner or later, he will accomplish it. Oh, he was right about that too.
Yeah,
wow, he knew what he was doing. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, he's working very hard. You don't see him out a lot. If you think he's out playing golf,
yeah,
and somebody's gotta like not get sense in your head.
Right. He's not retired.
You don't take a man like DJT and put him on a golf course and say, have fun now, you're retired.
Right.
And think he's going to do that. I mean, that is absurd. So if you look at his character, just use common sense, guys. Use common sense. Nobody, it's like Jesus coming back. I don't care what people say. Oh, he's coming back. He's coming back. I believe that. No one knows the time. No one knows when. All of this stuff is all opinion. But there's one thing you got to do, Nick, and is you got to look at the man. You got to look at his character. You look at where he's been. Look at what he said. Look at what he's done. And then if you think he's just going to be put out to pasture, I think not.
Absolutely. And he's lived a very lavish lifestyle before he was president. He was very successful in real estate, in the shows like The Apprentice. He's done very well, loved by all of the deep state players.
That's right.
And I don't see, when some people say, oh, he's controlled the position, I don't see that, because I don't see his motives. There's no motive for him. What I always ask, what's his motive? To be hated and put his family at risk.
Exactly. It's a sacrifice for us. Yeah.
Who would do that?
Exactly.
Who would do that, Nick? No one. No one would do that. And people, look, it's an amazing thing to me. I mention his name and how him and Putin and Xi are working together. And look, it's very obvious. My God, I could go into a whole thing about that. I'm not going to. But when I do that on my show, I get trolls. It's like they give it away. It's like the troll parade. Everybody's out slamming me, and that name is like, the minute it comes out, everybody's playing whack-a-mole. There's a reason 45 stirs everyone to such hatred.
Yes.
And it's because he represents good. He represents white hats. He represents God. And that man, whether he comes back in a day or a year, he will be back. If we hit 2024 and he doesn't come back, I will come on this show and say, I'm sorry, I was wrong, but I do not think that day will come.
Absolutely. Now, let's move on to the Ukrainian Defense Ministry that you would like to bring to attention.
Okay. Ukraine, the defense minister. Now, this was on his verified Twitter page. Okay. Think of who this man is. I'm going to use my Italian here. Think of who this man is. He's the Ukrainian defense minister, guys. This is the guy, okay? He published video game footage on February 25th showing a Ukrainian fighter jet shooting down a Russian plane. Okay, it's still up there. It's a 15-second video accompanied by the caption, "What is this Ukrainian ace doing?" And it describes an MiG-29 fighter jet destroying a Russian Su-35 jet with a missile. Now, Reuters, Reuters fact checks it and says it's a fake video. And it's actually a video game, a digital battlefield game developed by Eagle Dynamics.
Wow.
And why?
Where's the mic? Where's a mic? Let me drop my mic.
Why do you think they, did you say Prison Eagle? Who?
It's the name of it is Eagle Dynamics.
Eagle Dynamics.
Eagle Dynamics is the company that made the video game.
And why do you think they are making this? Is it because they want to trick people? They're working for the deep state?
Yeah, Nick, I'll tell you, that's a really $1 million question. And I never even thought of it that way.
Yeah, right. I'm sure you have.
I didn't. No, I didn't. I didn't. I really didn't. Why would they make that? That's an excellent question. Why would they show that happening? Unless, and I don't know, it's just a worldwide, and maybe people in the comments will say it. Unless it's just one of those worldwide countries against countries and battling. You know what I'm saying? It's a battlefield game. Maybe there's many countries involved. I don't know that, but that's really a good question. Actually,
that is a good question.
You should do this for a living.
Well, I'm trying.
You're really good at it.
Well, Denise and Delora, it's been an absolute honor to have you both. Thank you so much for sharing your perspectives on things. And, it's great. Like we always do. We always have a laugh. It's fantastic. And I hope the viewers like it too. Is there anything else that you'd like to say to the viewers before we finish? Delora, you can go first.
Okay. Yeah. Go to DeloraOBrien.com if you want to. There you can join my mailing list. You can also join on the top. It says sign up here. We have an international prayer call on Sunday night. Hundreds and hundreds of people on. We've had some miracles, some great things happened. Also, we fundraise for the gathering, which we're going to every state and trying to ignite hope and ignite the power of God. And things like this. This says, what does it say? Loved by Jesus, and sweaters and things like that. My daughter put up a website, joyandcountry.com, and everything that you purchase there helps us with doing what we're doing in our ministry. So thank you, Nick, for always allowing me to add that.
You're very welcome, and thank you. And Denise, over to you.
Yes. Thank you, Nick. Thank you for having me again. This was a great show, very informative. I have a website, deniseboland.com. You can go there, some information, fill out the form, and see what I'm involved in. And I just want to say that no matter, and I say this all the time, no matter what's going on out there, and it could look really scary and crazy and like what's happening, the whole world is falling apart. Just trust in God. Remember, you're on the side of victory.
Absolutely. Well, thank you very much. And we'll catch up again in 2 weeks' time. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Love you.
Love